Welcome back. Episode 6, Almost Athletic. Back with some updates, some training updates, some race updates. It's been a big weekend. How you feeling, Sumner?
I'm good. I have taken the weekend off in prep for. I had a big wedding weekend, so out of town. Went on a walk yesterday. My watch died. That's never happened to me before, where my watch died. Walks are super boring, and I will probably never do them again. So that's how my weekend's gone. What about you?
It's been good. It's been good. We'll get into a second. First, though, you took a hot girl walk in preparation for some hot training coming up. Fill us in.
Yeah,
What's on the horizon?
we are getting coached up. I'm joined the team, and not the daddy team in facing the Giants. I have joined the Speed Force Tri team. I'm officially a member, and I'm fired up. Well, happy to be here. I signed my letter of intent and put the hat on. I meant to bring it and put the hat on when I said that, but I forgot it. So, it is what it is. But
Oh,
we're happy to
man.
be here.
You know, that also reminds me, totally off topic. Speaking of my hat, wore it today in the race, threw it in the wash. I've got clothes in the wash. Thanks for the reminder. I need to get those out when we get done recording. Thank you. Anyways, yeah, welcome. Congratulations. That's big news. We're
Thanks.
training for
Thanks
what?
for being so welcoming.
Sub 3.5 hour, 70.3? Is that what Sam's got you on the
Yep.
program for? All right.
Sub
I like
3.5,
that.
maybe 4.5. Yeah, trying to go to Kona just immediately. Trying to cut my half Ironman time in half, basically. That's the goal.
I like that. Well, Sam's
No,
the man for
but
that.
seriously, sub 6. That's the thing.
All right, it's out in the universe now. It's in stone. We're gonna hold you to it. What's next week looking like training wise? Do you have any sort of
So
idea?
far, I don't know. I haven't gotten the calendar. I checked the calendar right before this. Haven't had an update, but we'll see. It's probably going to look like a little bit like yours, maybe just a little bit less time and distance on the swims, I would think. Probably still doing hour bikes, probably still doing 40-minute runs. Probably won't be doing, the 2,800-yard swims, maybe around, 15 to 18, I would assume. That'd probably be right in my sweet spot as far as like getting back into it. But yeah, can't imagine it'd be longer than 15 to 1,800-yard swims. But yeah, that's my prediction. Now it could be completely different.
You know what they say. I've always heard everyone say this. A nautical mile a day keeps the doctor away. And
What exactly is
1,600
a nautical
meters.
mile?
A nautical mile, well, that's just a mile in the water. 1,600 meters, 1,760 yards. Someone fact check me. Community notes. Check me on that. But I think that's the
Okay.
distance.
What's the point in calling it a nautical mile? I mean, yeah, obviously it's in water, but still just a mile. I mean, I thought there was a difference, like knots versus miles per hour.
There maybe could be a difference with that as well. But I just wanted to emphasize the swimming portion of that. Because, swimming is definitely both of our favorites, wouldn't you say? Of the 3 disciplines in triathlon?
On race day, it is my favorite because it's first and it's easy. In training, it's not though, because my stomach hurts almost every time I swim.
Yeah, well, I'm being completely facetious. Swimming sucks. There's nothing more
It
boring
does.
than looking at the bottom of a pool. And also the sense of you're just taking a bath with everyone else around you and their feet probably smell. I think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
Or the pee that I drink from the
Oh, I'm
kids in
swallowing
splash
piss.
school.
I think about that quote. quite a bit. Oh, I'm swallowing piss.
Yeah, I know.
Left and right.
You spurred that quote. I shouldn't have said that because now I think about it too.
Yeah. It's
But
a tough one.
anyway,
But hey, yeah. You had a
there
big
it
day.
is. What'd you say?
You had a big day, didn't you?
Yeah, I raced today in the Covenant Health Knoxville half marathon. Mouthful. It was the 20th annual, 20 years straight, and this is my second time. So I've participated in 10% of these. But I would say I gave 100% effort today, and it whipped my tail. There's the analysis. Knoxville, thank you for whipping my tail today. You kind of suck. A lot of elevation gain. There's 3 major hills and the two in the back half, they crushed me. I was down, and they hit me when I was down. But overall analysis, I went an hour, 41 minutes, 17 seconds, which is 2 seconds away from my previous PR. My previous PR in December of 2022, so a year and a half ago,
Nice.
was an hour, 41 minutes, and 15 seconds. So I didn't PR today, unfortunately. And to be honest, I was going for sub 140. But let me give a little background on that. I was going for sub 140. Through the first 8 miles, I was holding a 7:30 pace, which is right around a 1:38 finish time. Then I started to hurt, started to waver off a little bit. According to my Garmin, which also translates to Strava, I ran 13.4 miles at a 7:33 pace, which is sub 140. And I don't trust the Garmin. You have to trust the official race distance and the official race time. But that hurts. I ran almost a third of a mile further than a half marathon distance, according to my watch, which also my watch says I was running a 7:33 pace overall. My finish time says I ran a 7:44, 11-second difference. So I thought I was on pace to finish, but evidently I was not, which stinks. But I will say all of my friends who ran it on Strava also clocked in a 13.4 to a 13.45 finish distance. So I don't know what this 20th annual Knoxville Covenant Health Half Marathon has going on, but maybe someone needs to fact check this distance. But
I think you've got a strong argument.
There's the review, man. I thought I had it, didn't have it. Was definitely dying at the end, but I'm so glad I did it. Last year I did not do it, and I had major FOMO. But at the end of the day, nothing beats race day. There was a huge turnout, tons of people, and the energy was there. The neighborhoods we run through are awesome. There's kids, there's families outside cheering us on, and it just is a different experience than going out there and running alone. So overall, good day. I'm beat down, but it is what it is. I'm ready to hit this triathlon training hard because we're about almost exactly 5 months away from today. So it's triathlon season, baby.
Indeed, it is. Well, congratulations for beating me. It took a super flat course for me to get in the 141s. I'm going to give it to you. We're calling it sub 140. That extra third of a mile is absolutely just some BS. That is unacceptable in any sort of race administration. I think you got a strong argument. Somebody hire a lawyer. Let's get these people their time back. I mean, that's just unacceptable. Marathons are 13.1.
Marathons are 13.1. That's the distance. But hey, you got to trust the official time. If it's a full marathon distance and you don't hit under 3, you're not qualifying for Boston. So got to trust the official time. But oh well,
yep.
Had fun.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. What a day. Good morning. So Sunday race, that's different. Usually Saturdays are kind of race day, but
I know, and it honestly really stunk. I wish it was on a Saturday because I had to call it in early last night. At least there was some games on, but I had to be prepped and ready for this morning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so take me through the morning. What'd you have for breakfast? Any coffee?
All right, yeah, let's actually start from the beginning. Let me revisit this having to call it in early thing. Something funny happened around 2 a.m. I'm asleep, and I just hear these massive thuds going on outside, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? Well, some people were in our apartment, and they accidentally locked a door from the inside. And so those loud thuds were my roommates trying to get to their rooms, and they had to break a door down. So that's how the morning officially kicked off at 2 a.m. A little funny story there. But anyways, I woke up around 5:30, And I had 2 pieces of sourdough with some peanut butter and a banana and some honey and an orange and some G1M and some electrolytes. That's how the
Okay.
morning fuel started off. And the nice thing was the start line is a 7-minute walk from my apartment. And so I could pretty much stay here for as long as possible and not have to deal with the porta potty lines, which were ridiculously long. They need way more of those. And
Oh, no
this
doubt.
may be TMI, but I made sure to get it all out before I went. I think I did three doozers before I left, just to make sure I had it all
Wow.
out, because I am definitely
Absolutely.
notorious for having to take a doozer on when I'm out and about. So that was nice.
That
Got it all
brings up
done.
another story. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Remember me and Joseph were going on a morning run one morning in
Oh yeah,
the
this
beautiful city
story.
of Memphis, Tennessee. And Joseph didn't wake up to his alarm, or I think snoozed his alarm and fell back asleep or something. So I arrived to our usual running spot, and Joseph pulls in. He texts me, I'm on the way, and he lives, 2 or 3 minutes from our spot. And pulls in. He's like, "Man, I'm just gonna warn you, I might have to go to the bathroom during this run." And I was thinking it's only 4 miles. Like we're gonna get through this, easy peasy. So we're running, and like we get to the 2-mile point, and I'm like, we turn around to head back, and I'm like, okay, this is just another 15 minutes, and we're done. Easily, you can hold it. And then you just started saying, I think I might have to stop here in a couple minutes, and then I think I'm gonna have to stop here in like a minute or two. That increment of time
And
just
then,
kept kind of coming down a little bit.
and then it went, yeah, I'm going into the woods. I'm veering off. See you in a second.
Yep. So
Hey, it was
we stopped the
lickety.
watches. He was in and
It
out,
was
man,
lickety
in and
split
out in
though.
minute 30 seconds max. So I was impressed.
Max happens. But yeah, and then
It
we
does.
started the race at 7:30 and finished at around 9:11 to be exact. But yeah,
Nice.
that was the day.
Cool. I'm excited. That was fun. I saw your girlfriend's story, and I remembered that you had a race this week. So I was fired up I didn't know your time before we got on here, so I was excited to kind of hear what you
It
finished at.
definitely,
I saw 141 on the thing, but I wasn't sure, how, correct that was.
yeah. I honestly forgot to bring it up last week. I mean, I was pretty much caught up in triathlon training. Kind of forgot it was
Yeah.
race week. I had like a 2-day taper. But anyways,
What's your advice to me for joining Speed Force?
your advice?
Anything I need to stay on top of, or like need to know about Training Peaks, or having a coach, like what to expect?
Well, here's some advice. You don't use Zwift, do you?
I will get it back. I haven't had it since before the Ironman, but I canceled my subscription just because I wasn't really using it
Yeah,
for the
I
bike.
did.
So I'll probably get it back tonight.
I did the same thing, but Zwift is a complete game changer. It syncs the workouts from Zwift exactly, and so you don't have to program anything into it. You can log on, start it up, and he'll program workouts where it changes how much power you should be putting out, and Zwift basically pretty much takes care of that for you. So that is a huge time saver, because as we all know, triathlon training takes a lot of time, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
minimize the administrative stuff. But like it
Of
doesn't,
course.
the swim workouts don't sync to the Garmin, which kind of stink. So I have to program those, which take a few minutes. But as far as the
Yeah.
runs and bikes, they pretty much program exactly to your watch, which is a huge help.
Okay. Good to know. Well,
As far
in
as
that case,
any other
that wraps
tips,
up. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, any other tips, stay on top of it. Plan your
Okay.
day. Make sure you get those training sessions in. That's about it. Let's talk some ball.
Definitely.
It's the
Let's
Final
talk some
Four
ball.
weekend in Phoenix.
It's yeah, Final Four weekend. Girls, I think they're just about to finish. Liam, you need to double check the score real quick just to make sure we're not talking out of our, what's.
Our
All
heinies.
right. South Carolina's about to win. They're up 9.
What's the score? Mine says 11s. Oh, 8. 83-75. A minute 47 left. If I'm a betting
Yeah, so you're 1
man, I
point
would say
behind. It's
that.
84-75, South Carolina.
Yep, I'd say the Gamecocks are gonna take home that trophy. Caitlin Clark, final game
Yeah,
as a
this one's over.
Hawkeye.
Well, let's
But
talk. There was a difficult call, a foul call, controversial call, in UConn versus South Carolina. Am I right? Or Iowa?
UConn, Iowa.
UConn, Iowa.
Iowa.
Okay.
UConn had the ball in the final few seconds, and they set a screen. Some say it was an illegal screen. Some say you don't make that call right there. Two on the border, too close. You let the girls decide the game, and it was a ref show. They called the foul, moving screen, Iowa ball. Iowa pulls away and wins, and that was the game. You saw the clip. I think you may have a different opinion.
I saw the clip.
You think it should have been called a foul?
Are you saying that the refs want Caitlin Clark in the Natty? Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe not the refs. They may be roped into this, but I will say ESPN needs Caitlin Clark. The viewings for and the ratings for the girls' games are through the roof. I don't know if you've seen the list of other
Indeed.
sports broadcasts that they have beaten, but it's pretty much a laundry list of every game except for maybe the Super Bowl and the CFP championship. They are blowing it out of the water. And I mean, sports is a money-making machine. And Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes are huge money-making machines. So I don't think it came as a surprise to anyone that foul was called, which basically solidified the game for Iowa.
Well, I'll share my opinion. So, South Carolina or UConn versus Iowa. So, I didn't see the whole game. I was a little busy Friday, and so I was tuned in, on my phone checking scores. I knew that was close. I knew that Iowa had been down for quite a bit of the game, and came back. So, I think momentum plays a part in foul calls. Having played, high school basketball and feeling some, imperfect refereeing at times, and if someone's down and they're gonna, they're gonna make some controversial calls that probably, benefit the team coming back. And so I think that might have been one of them, based on the reaction of some of the Iowa players during or after, right immediately after that call. I could see that it was immediately, clicked like, oh, that was one of those calls where it was a momentum foul call, and they'd probably been getting stops, getting buckets on the other end, and then last minute, everybody's hype. The girls are playing hard, and that girl, I don't know her name, but for UConn, she set an illegal screen. Now, whether or not you should have called that, that's on you, neither here nor there. But the refs are there to call the basketball game, and I mean, she moved, she leaned. It's a little bit like Patrick Mahomes, like being just like you can't make that call on the Travis Kelce pitch back where they scored. I think it was Kadarius Toney, the lateral where they scored and would have won the game, but ended up losing. It sounds a little bit like that from the UConn side. And people were giving Patrick Mahomes quite a bit of crap for saying that. The refs are there to make the call, So that's my take. I think the right call was made, and I think the better team won.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about all this momentum and stuff. Iowa, with 5 minutes left, was up by 9. UConn goes on a run, and UConn is down by 1 with 49 seconds left. UConn had the momentum, and they just needed
like I said, I
to
didn't
win.
watch
I
the
mean,
game. Hand up, didn't watch the game.
Hand up, you didn't watch the game. I think some had to do with the ratings, but the thing is, the same exact screen had been set by both teams all games. Everyone does a little chicken wing, a little movement all game.
Yeah.
They took it into their own hands, and I don't think they should have done it there. I think it was not uniform, not in line with what they had been doing for the the previous, I don't know, 38 minutes. I don't know how many minutes are in a girls' game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think they should have called it. By the book, probably was an illegal screen, but I don't think you take it into your own hands there to determine the game.
I take back everything I just said. I was completely wrong. I didn't watch the game. So, yeah, I'm on UConn's side now. You changed my mind.
You mean Iowa? Yep. All
Yeah,
right.
I
Well,
mean,
that's good.
anyway,
At least we can get
Iowa's not winning the Natty, so that's what matters.
the best team won, which honestly, they're going to be 37-0 after this game here in a few minutes.
38
Tennessee late 38-0. Them Lady Vols could have had it. Could have been that one sole loss on their schedule. Could have been different, but they couldn't get a hand up on a 3-point shooter who had never shot a three before.
I know. Awful. Speaking of the Lady Vols, they just hired a new basketball coach today from Marshall. So
I know. From Marshall.
Might be the time
Kim.
for the turnaround. Yeah.
I heard she's the next Pat Summitt.
Boy, would I be happy for that to be the case, you know?
Yep, well, you heard it from me, and I just made it up, so
that's all you need to hear.
Spread the word.
That's all you need to hear.
Yep.
Well, let's go back. Let's travel back in time 3 weeks, why don't we? And let's see who we picked for the Final Four on the men's side of the bracket. Shall we?
Yeah.
And see who had the most. You do? I think I remember who I picked, but, short-term memory loss.
I think I had NC State, Alabama, Purdue, and UConn. That's who I had.
Okay, so you were actually like pretty close. NC State was a great call.
Sumner, I'm 100% kidding. Here is my real Final Four. I completely just lied just then. And this is who I had. I had Arizona and Auburn and Marquette and Purdue. So I had Purdue, but I had them losing to Marquette in the Final Four.
Okay.
I had Purdue because Zach Edey, the obvious GOAT in the tournament.
Yeah. Dude, I can't figure out how to find who I picked.
Do you need help with technology over there? Go to the app.
I do. Help
click
me.
Click on your thing, and then swipe left, and you can see the Final Four.
I know it says
finger left and drag to the right.
Okay.
And it says my pick, and it says Arizona over Auburn. My pick, Marquette over Purdue.
So I picked
technology.
UConn over Arizona in the top, and then I picked Houston over Purdue. So let's see, I had 2 right, 50%. That's pretty good. What's your bracket's percentage at, as far as correctness?
Well, I made 10 of them, so one of them's really good. Mine right now is 22.5. My main one, the one I made first. That's the one I'm going off of. I'm an honest man.
That's what counts. That's the one that counts. The one that we talked about on here. Yep. So mine's at 72%. I made 2 brackets. I make one where the one that I actually think is going to happen. And then I make one where Tennessee just wins it all. And so the one that me and you talked about is at 72%, and I picked UConn. So I'm saying on my prediction for the national championship, I have previously said on this here podcast that I think someone's going to beat Purdue. Now, I definitely meant that as, someone's going to beat them before they get to the national championship, but that did not happen. So I'm sticking with it. I think someone's going to beat Purdue, and it's going to be UConn. I just think they've got too many shooters. Those guys play hard. I think Danny Hurley said, we made the tournament look easy, which, wow. I mean, what a quote that is, So UConn, I'm staying with the Huskies.
Yeah, I didn't hear that quote, but making the tournament look easy, which is arguably one of the hardest tournaments ever. I mean, it's so hard to win the NCAA March Madness tournament. So those are some stones right there to throw that out into the universe. But yeah, the Buck's got to stop somewhere. The Buck has got to stop somewhere. Who is going to stop Purdue? Will it be UConn? The final game of the year. I'm going to have to do some research. I'll talk about the spread. The spread is 6.5 in favor of UConn. I think Purdue covers that. 6.5 is a lot of points for 2 heavyweights going up against each other. I think it's going to be back and forth. There's going to be multiple ties, multiple lead changes. Who's the big guy on UConn? What's his name?
No idea, but number 32, I think.
Well, he's a dog.
Or 30 or something.
He's a dog. He's shorter than Edey, but he's way better at basketball. He has better basketball skills. So I think that matchup is going to be fun. That matchup is going to be fun. And I think he's going to give Edie a rough day, but Edie's going to score some points, and it's going to go back and forth. I think UConn wins, but Purdue covers. There's my final answer on the national championship.
Dude, it was so frustrating to watch that Final Four game with NC State and Purdue. NC State was just so outmatched. Like, and you could tell, like, the game was over before it started. Zach Edey was feasting. All he had to do was post up that DJ Burns and just turn around hook shot. He couldn't do a thing about it, no matter what.
Which is crazy to me because I saw a video of DJ Burns with some NC State cheerleaders, and he doubled their height and probably quadrupled their weight. He made them look like gnomes that you would put in your yard. And he is up against Zach Edey, who makes DJ Burns look like a gnome that you would put in your yard. So, but I don't know if you know this. DJ Burns, former volunteer.
He's a former volunteer. Yeah, I saw that.
You didn't know that.
I had no idea. Like, yes, I did. I actually saw because they posted, I think like Bleacher Report posted like DJ Burns' story or whatever, like history timeline. And it was like, yep, there he is. It was like started at Tennessee, and it was like a picture of him playing, and then him at his, I think, community college or D2 or whatever he went, and then one more school, and then NC State, right? I think. I can't remember, but
I don't know if this is public knowledge or if he's changed or what, but apparently I've heard from a friend of a friend of a friend who's around the team when DJ was there that he had a terrible hygiene problem. Like, would practice, not shower, smell terrible. And he was big then, and he's put on probably 40 pounds since then. So
that is tough.
I don't know if he's maybe he's grown out of that and matured, but he is a good good ball player.
Guy.
He's my mom's favorite player in the NCAA tournament this year. She loves watching them.
Yeah.
My dad was mad because she called him cute.
Your dad's a little jealous.
He's a little jealous of DJ Burns winning my mom over.
Hey. Yeah, I get it. He's a good-looking guy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'll fill her in about this hygiene issue.
Yeah, definitely. That's something she needs to know about if she's going to make us that statement. She needs to know the full picture.
Yep.
Well,
speaking of
I'm gonna let you take this next.
Speaking of the games.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah, I'll go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of the games. The national championship. It's tomorrow, which is a Monday. If you're listening to this on a Monday when we release them, it's at 9:20 p.m. Eastern time. Who in their right mind schedules the final championship game for that time? 9:20. That's already past my bedtime. Which I'll segue right into it. My gripe of the week is that. And I want to say
somebody
that
sound the sirens. It's his first one. First gripe of the week.
It's my first one.
6 episodes in.
I'm always 6 episodes in. I always try to be the spin zone, the glass half full. But this ticks me off to no end. We have work and school and class and things to do on Tuesday morning. We can't be staying up till midnight watching freaking Edie and Dan Hurley battle it out. That's why I will live in the central time zone at post-grad because it is the superior time zone to all the others. Even though 8:20 is still late, in the vast majority of cases, it is just simply better. Games start at the best time. They end at a decent hour. When the Grizzlies maybe move out of the Western Conference and start getting some Eastern Conference time games and stop playing in LA at 11 p.m., it'll get even better, but the Central Time Zone is goated. You probably agree, I assume. Hopefully.
I do agree about the Central Time Zone. However, I do have a take on the best time zone to watch games. West Coast. West Coast Pacific Standard Time?
Pacific Standard.
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
That is the best way to watch games, and I will give a shout out to a former coworker / manager of mine. I will not mention his name, but he knows who he is if he listens to this. He said that he used to live in California, And when they would watch games, like college football games, you wake up, go get a nice breakfast somewhere, and then your first game's at 9. You just immediately start watching ball. And then from there, you can watch all night, all day, grab lunch in between the first game start and the next game start, because it's usually 3 or 4 hours net later. And then the primetime games start technically at 5. So you watch all those games, and then you still have your night to either go to bed, or go out, start your Saturday night. Which I did agree with. That's that would be a good way to watch college football. Now that's just for college football, maybe not for basketball.
I've got something to say on that. Okay. Did Oregon not play a game at 8 a.m. this year? Have a college game day game at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time?
If they did, it would have been that Colorado Oregon game.
I think they did.
Yeah.
Also, there's nothing better than coming back home late night and seeing USC and UCLA dueling it out for no reason, and you just have no interest, but it's something to throw on. It's football still. I'm talking in Eastern or Central time zone. I don't know. Teach their own, but that was my gripe of the week, my first one ever.
I will try to play your part and say that the game is being played on the West Coast, so they've got to have people at the game. Tickets matter, and so does atmosphere. Those people have to be there, present. So if I bet you most of the crowd's gonna be traveling in from elsewhere in the country, but there might be some people who live in Scottsdale or in the Phoenix area that want to go to the game, and they've got to get off work to get there by, I guess that would make tip would be 6:20 or 6:30. That seems like a smart decision for the hosters of that game in Phoenix. But yeah, I mean, I totally understand your gripe. So it's a valid gripe for those from on the right side of the United States.
Fun fact: Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time, but currently they are in the Pacific time zone, I guess because of daylight savings time. LA, it's 2:23 right now, and also in Phoenix, it's 2:23. So I guess technically they are on that West Coast time right now. Anyways, there it was. There was my gripe. I hear you have one.
How's it feel? How does it feel to have a gripe?
Man, I just had to get that off my chest. Feels good. I had to throw that out there.
This is a safe place, No one's listening. Well, I have a short gripe of the week, and it is it's one of my least favorite feelings to have, and that is sticky fingers. That's it's a tough way to live life with any sort of stickiness. And I was eating at Waffle House this morning, and that is like sticky. Like your sticky risk is gone way up eating at Waffle House. Everything's sticky. There's syrup, there's chocolate chips on waffles, there's butter, there's coffee. It could be anything. Every surface is sticky. And it's not like they're cleaning up very well. It's just like the quick wipe at the table,
it doesn't
and
help.
then the next 4 are into the booth.
It doesn't help their tables are made for like a toddler in art class. I mean, they bring out 20 plates and you can really only fit 4. So that probably doesn't help.
Yes. No, it doesn't. And I saw something today that really made me question why I would even eat at Waffle House. It's the way that they refilled their syrup. It looks like it's just one of those big bottles of Pennzoil. Like it's just straight out of the garage, it looks like. So that will stick with me for a while. Yeah, delicious.
Grease you right up.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was tough to watch, but food was great. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, I got 2 waffles and hash browns, and it was great. Can't complain.
There we go.
Well, to close it out, you've got a story out here. A quick one for our good word.
It's a quasi good word, more of a story, more of a suggestion. And you've talked about this group before, Yes Theory. Their thing is seek discomfort, and another thing that they harp on is talk to strangers. Well, today walked out of my apartment door to go walk to the race, walking right by me, Mr. Randy Boyd. He is the president of the UT school system, the president of UT, and he's a beast. We started walking together, introduced myself, we started talking, and he told me that this is his 89th half marathon. So he's been doing
Wow.
this for a while. Another thing I learned is he had knee surgery 4 months ago, but his trainer was allowing him to do this race, do a little bit of a walk-run action. And so we just got to talking, and we connected. And I told him about my previous knee issues. So it was fun. It was a good time. I don't know if I'll ever talk to Mr. Boyd again, but he is a very important individual in the state of Tennessee. So it was good to talk to him, get to meet him, share a little bit about ourselves, and wish each other luck. So talk to strangers.
Yeah.
You don't know who you'll run into, who you'll get to meet, and what doors that may open in the future. There's my good word.
You think he'll be at your graduation?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think he goes to all of them, but I don't know if I'm walking at my graduation, so I don't know if I'll see him then.
I was gonna say,
see him running
if you
downtown a
do
lot,
decide to
actually.
walk. Oh, really? Well, hey,
If I do
maybe you'll
decide to
get
walk
to
out,
link
I
up
may
for a
miss
run
it.
one day.
Yeah,
Just
I've
give
seen him
him
on
a quick
runs in the morning, and I say good
Yeah.
morning to him. Sometimes I'll throw in a good morning, Mr. Boyd, but he's because of his recent knee surgery, I think he is in a little bit of pain. Usually he just kind of grunts back at me.
Well, shout out Mr. Boyd. He may forget that, but you'll forever be part of his 89th half marathon.
I'll forever be a part of it, and it's good to feel that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll wrap things up here. I gotta go get some dinner. I'm gonna eat. I think we're eating with my family tonight, so I don't know what we're getting. Maybe some commissary, maybe some Mexican. We'll see. We'll see what the family wants.
A whole lot of options, whole lot of good options there in the M. I miss it. I'll be back soon, though.
All right. Yeah. Hey, we'll see you soon. Things are happening.
Yep.
You want to be roommates?
I want to save some money first for a little bit, but I'll keep that in the back of my mind.
I totally understand.
All right.
All right.
Let the people go.
We'll see you on the next episode.
See you later.
See ya.